So guys, do you have a Jack Russell Terrier that is currently a little bit nippy or biting? It's extremely common, and that is what this entire video is all about. So make sure to stay tuned for all of those details. We're going to cover in depth why they nip, why they bite, and what you can do about it. Guys, welcome back to the Terrier Owner YouTube channel. Josh here with terrierowner.com. The channel is specifically designed for new terrier owners to get the information they need, learn how to take care of these little guys in the best fashion possible, and answer all your frequently asked questions. So if that's you, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give us one of those thumbs up because the YouTube algorithm loves us when you do, and drop us some comments down below. And for now, let's go ahead and dive into this video about nipping and biting with Jack Russell Terriers. We're starting right now. You don't bite, do you? Ever? Do you nip? Are you a nippy dog? Yes. My God, are you comfortable? Is there anything I can get you? You need me to fluff your pillow? See guys, they're affectionate. They don't bite. This is my life trying to make a video. Seriously. Alright guys, before we dive into what you need to do to stop nipping and biting with one of these terriers, is go over the reasons why they do it in the first place. Understanding why can help you understand what to do to fix the problem much easier. And the number one thing I can tell you about these guys, and any dog for that fact, is when they're a puppy, their mouth is how they explore the world. That is how they, discover objects, discover everything, how they get used to their surroundings, their environment. So the nipping is much more prone to happen at those young ages. That's when you lose the shoes, whenever things that you don't want chewed happen, and when they get those sharp little puppy teeth on your hand. So that's number one. That's one of the biggest reasons why you're going to deal with that with any dog, not just the Jack Russells. Number two, guys, is you have to understand that they're also going to go through a teething phase, and this happens before they're even 1 year old. So when they're in that teething phase, they need a lot of toys, things that they can play with, sturdy bones. It's one of those ones with the hollowed out center for the treat part of it, but they need things that they can do to relieve that pressure in their gums. Otherwise they're going to be even more nippy. So if you're going through it right now, realize that they might be teething and that you need to buy them teething type toys to relieve that pressure in their gums. Teething is probably the number one reason why they get nippy, start biting, or have chewing or destructive problems. So always remember that. And lastly, guys, before I start moving into what you can do to start fixing the chewing behaviors, the biting behaviors, and the nipping behaviors, is I want to make it clear that ultimately it falls on you as the owner. So instead of being frustrated, find ways to do something about it, which you're already doing that by watching this video, and we're going to cover some of the top things that you can do to end the biting and nipping. But remember that it's not a dog problem in most circumstances. It's something that you can remedy by working with them. So ultimately it's on you, and now let's cover all of the things that you can do to make sure that that nipping and biting goes away. Alright guys, so what can you do to stop this biting and nipping? I'm going to go ahead and give you my top tips on what I would recommend for your Jack Russell, and I'm pretty sure it will help dramatically. Alright guys, so tip number one is socialize your Jack Russell as soon and as often as you can. I understand that you might get busy and that it might be tough, but the sooner you can get your dog around kids, other dogs, other animals, typically the more used to that situation they're going to be, the less aggression that might come out later, and they're just going to be more comfortable in those scenarios in general. So right after you adopt your dog, get them socializing as much as possible. Obviously don't push it, but at the same time, make it happen. Find ways to get your dog around other dogs, get them around the family, get them around friends, and get them used to those kinds of situations right out of the gates. Alright guys, number two, which is really popular and used a lot, is teaching your dog the word ouch in a loud, audible manner when they nip or bite. She's not much of a nipper or biter anymore. If she does nip, it's usually with my 4-year-old son, not me. But an example would be, if she were to bite down on me right now like she is, and you just had her as a puppy, you try and get her going here again, something like ouch. Something that scares them a little bit and makes them realize that they're hurting you, because they don't have the intentions of hurting you, but using that technique will get them in that mode that, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. Number three, guys, and another really popular one, is you can't just hope that they stop because you want them to. You need to replace that behavior somehow. These dogs are hyper, these dogs get bored, and they want something to do. So if they're naturally, if they're in one of those phases like the teething phase or they're a puppy, instead of just saying no and hoping that it goes away forever, try replacing that behavior and then rewarding them. So something like these big bones here, make sure that it seems silly, but you want to reward them for chewing on this instead of on your ankles. What are you looking at? So have toys, replace those behaviors, and then reward them when they do a good job with it. Which, number 3 led me directly into number 4, which is have plenty of toys. Personally, a lot of people like to go with the really expensive toys for these dogs because they chew so often. I find her capable of shredding just about any quality of toy that's out there, so I typically just go through them faster and get more. Whatever you want to do from that standpoint, go for it, but make sure you got a decent little collection of things that they can chew without it upsetting you, like your shoes or your trim in your house. The more that they have that they can do that's positive, the less they will do that is negative. And then one of the tips that I feel like I bring up in every single video that we do is make sure that you are providing exercise for these guys. A lot of the negative behaviors that will come from a Jack Russell or any terrier or any dog in general is from boredom, pent-up energy, and lack of exercise. It doesn't matter if it's just a walk, it doesn't matter if it's just sprinting circles in the backyard, but make sure they have something that they can do to burn off some steam, and they will typically be a little more tuckered out and be a little less destructive, which can certainly mean that they are biting and nipping you less. And then last but not least, guys, the next biggest thing I could give you, and one of the last tips I have for you, is don't stop working with them. Keep finding new clever ways to do things with them. Find new ways to teach them what's right and what is wrong. Sometimes these behaviors go in phases with these guys depending on your lifestyle, so keep working with them, keep training them, use whatever method you want, whether that's clicker training, using simple vocal commands, it doesn't matter. Do it how you please, but the more you work with these guys and challenge their minds, the better I've noticed they typically become and the more behaved they become. So if you want the biting and nipping to stop, don't ever stop working with them. Give them what time you have and go from there. Is that I'm not a vet, so if you feel like you have a behavior taking place that is more than just the puppy teething, a typical puppy behavior, or just a mood swing, contact a vet, see what they think. I'm just a guy with a terrier, that's it. So if you think it's a deeper issue with your dog, make sure you address it. A simple phone call won't hurt. Typically it is something simple, but if it's not, it's better to be safe than sorry. And guys, thanks for stopping by the channel today. We appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop us some comments, give us a thumbs up, because when you do, it pushes this video out in front of all the other terrier owners out there. And as a quick heads up, this next video for this week will not come out until Sunday due to the holiday. So Sunday 9 a.m. Central instead of the typical Thursday. We appreciate you guys. Never forget to head over to terrierowner.com. Have a great Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Luna, say bye. I'm a nipper. Say bye. Say bye.